Okay, Adam Trigger here. It is Tuesday. It's time to talk Major League Baseball, and we're going to focus on Astros Mariners in this video. But first, I have to tell you that it's Tuesday, which means it's $5 Tuesday at Wager Talk. Myself and all the handicappers have a best bet on their page for just $5. So check that out. MLB best bet for me is going to be up shortly, and it will be up for just $5. It's been a good start to the MLB season for me so far. And I hope that carries over to Korean baseball, which started off okay. And then the AAA stuff that we're going to post throughout the season. Just trying to have a good baseball season. And MLB has been the most profitable so far. So that's, a pleasant surprise because I truly believe that it's the most difficult market to beat from as it relates to like AAA, KBO. Tokyo Brandon does a great job in NPB. Major League Baseball is a tough market to beat. So the fact that we're off to a good start is great. And so here's what I'm looking at for tonight. Now, a couple of things we have to go over here. Looks like there's a pitching change in this Astros-Mariners game. So I am looking at the Astros. I'll still probably like the Astros, but I am interested to see what they're going to do with their pitching. So initially it looked like this would be Framber Valdez. And I'm wondering if they just put Hunter Brown here now, because yesterday the Astros came out and announced that they were going to go Valdez on Tuesday, Brown on Wednesday. And then about an hour, maybe like a half hour ago, I saw a tweet from one of the large accounts that said Valdez was scratched with whatever, elbow soreness, whatever he's got going on. So at the time of filming this video, we don't know who the pitcher is yet for Houston. So I can't really make it an official play here just yet, but I am looking at the Astros, and I'll give my handicap as to why I'm looking that way. So the Mariners are just a fade for me this year, and will be until one of two things happens, and it's really going to probably be the latter, because the first thing, I don't see how that happens anytime soon. This team can't hit. Last year, they were 10th in the American League in runs scored. They had a .221 batting average as a team, and they essentially didn't address any of those issues in the offseason. So, they didn't go out and rebuild this lineup at all. I guess they're obviously, you've got Randy Arozarena now for a full season, but the Mariners really didn't do anything differently than they did last year. Now, on one side, on one hand, you could say, well, the Mariners kind of know what they're doing. They've been winning 85 games plus the last 4 seasons. Yes, and that there is an element of truth to that. But I also think the Mariners have been very, very fortunate in close games. And some of it's not good fortune. Like, some of it's the fact that they have great pitching top to bottom, really good starting rotation, really good bullpen. But the reality is they have won a lot of close games over the last few years to get to that point in some of this, in some of those seasons where they win 85, 86. I think it went like 90, 88, 85, 85 or something like that the last 4 seasons. There was at least 1 or 2 years in there where they had insanely good variance in close games. And you just have to wonder how long that lasts, or can it last, right? Like, are the Mariners good enough to just go out and win games by the skin of their teeth every single game? And you're starting to see that might not be the case. They're 4-7 to start this year. The Giants series was a great example. Losing that a game 10-9, lost a game on a walk-off 5-4. Now they won 4-3 last night, but again, I just feel like the Mariners they live on the edge in that regard, but they're priced as a team. This is the key point here. The key point to make with this Mariners team. All of that is okay. There's no question. They have elite pitching, an elite bullpen, but they are priced as a team in the market that's an 85-90 win team. And I just don't think that's should be the case with how poorly they are offensively. And so when I see some of these, matchups like this one, right? Like the Astros come in and it's relatively like the Mariners are a small favorite. Well, right now we don't know what the actual line will be, but with Valdez in, it was right around a pick. And I look at it and say, man, the Mariners have to almost be perfect They have to get a quality start. They need their guys to go in and lock it down in the bullpen to win these games. And that was kind of what happened last night. Mariners needed 2 runs in the 8th inning to go out and win that game. They had 4 hits. And so essentially the Mariners last night needed a lockdown effort from Logan Gilbert, who's arguably their best pitcher, one of their best pitchers, and then still needed a timely hit in the 8th inning to tie and take the lead and win 4-3. And it's like, that to me, I feel like more often than not, you put yourself into that situation, especially against capable teams like the Astros, that have your number. More often than not, that's going to turn into a loss. And I feel like that's probably going to be the case here. So I don't know. I don't have an Astros pitcher to talk about. I will say this: if it's Hunter Brown and they just decide to slide him back, pitch him on normal rest and slide him back a day, I'd be fine with that. I think Hunter Brown is an elite pitcher in Major League Baseball right now. But who knows? They might. It's early in the season. They clearly wanted Brown on Wednesday for a reason. So they might, spot start someone here, and then I'll have to pivot based off of who they decide to use as a starter. We know the starter for the Mariners is Luis Castillo. And this is a guy that's like, again, he's a very good starting pitcher. So far 2 starts this year. He was tremendous against the Tigers. He had a good enough start against the A's, 2 runs, 5 innings, 2 runs, only gave up 3 hits. So it really has nothing to do with Castillo. He's great. Like, we know he's really good, but he's not like gonna just guaranteed go wipe a team out. He's still a guy, last couple of years, ERAs in the mid 3s. That's very solid. Last year, WHIP 1.17. Like, he's quality starting pitcher, but he's still going to probably give up something. And the Astros are a team that I could totally see getting to him. You look at Yordan Alvarez; he's got great numbers against Castillo. So there's to say that the Astros wouldn't be able to generate some offense against a Mariners team they see as much as anyone. I think that's where you're like kind of grasping at straws if you're trying to make a case for the Mariners, because the Astros see Mariners pitching as much as any team in the league. The only teams in the league that see the Mariners starting, that have seen this staff more over the last couple of years, would be teams like the A's, Angels, and Rangers. And the Astros have probably had less, more turnover this year, but probably less turnover in the starting lineup at the big league level than the other 3 teams in their division. So I trust the Astros to be able to generate some offense. This is really going to come down to who ends up on the mound here for the Astros. But if it's someone I can stomach and someone I can get behind, I'll probably add the Astros to my card tonight. They're just a better team than the Mariners. I know that, you could say what you want about how these teams have started. Houston's just better than this Seattle team. And I think Seattle will continue to disappoint backers this year because they're always overrated based on their starting pitching and their elite pitching. But man, is it tough to have to go out and win games 3-2, 4-3 every single night. I don't think the Mariners, they did it last night. They got their timely hit in the 8th inning. They turned a 3-2 deficit into a 4-3 lead. I don't think they're going to do it again in back-to-back nights. And so for that reason, I lean toward the Astros here, and this very well might make my card. Again, to get my card, head on over to Wager Talk. To get one of my best bets for just $5, check out my page, wt.buzz/AT. It is $5 Tuesday site-wide, so check that out for all handicappers. We'll see you guys back here in the morning.